sandwich between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Washington football team and the Dallas Cowboys. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And some space here. Power running by Zeke. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. 72 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
That type of run right there, that just fires me up when I watch it because that's maybe the most underrated aspect of his game. The ability to break tackles and know where the first down chains are and pick them up.
He's tough, good pedigree. Dad Stacy was a linebacker at Missouri.
Yeah, and how about Mom on the track team? So I think that's where the speed came from. And she's not shy about letting us know that, too.
Yeah, I got the best of both worlds. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes a defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Here's Prescott. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Disastrous outcome there on 3rd and goal. They lose 9 yards on the sack. Nagar's kick is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. And they'll be let out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And he said he was feeling good in the lead up to the season, and he proved it in a big way in week 1 with 4 touchdown passes. Had the offense moving at peak efficiency right at the start of the year. Awfully impressive.
The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. And right away, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. Partner, on my spot sheets, I highlighted turnover margin because we remember they turned it over 4 times last week. So another one here in the first quarter. This isn't the way they want to go.
No, not even close. And it's not something they even imagine because the amount of time that we know that they spend in practice talking about what they need to get done, working on it, showing them how to take care of the football, and emphasizing what it means in terms of winning. They got to just be puzzled right now that they're not taking care of the ball better.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Prescott under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Prescott completes it right side to Cooper. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A big play there on the catch and run. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dalton Schultz, his first touchdown here in the new campaign. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Extra point by Nagar is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
A throw over the middle, taken in. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So a pretty nice throw right there from the rookie. And this, of course, is game number 2 of his NFL career. His guys did not get the win, Charles, in the opener. But what did you see from him last week?
Well, I think all things considered, he played pretty well, and I don't think I'd pin the loss on him. But there's no question, this is a learning process, and that was step 1, and he's hoping on the road to glory.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. First carry for the former Tar Heel, Michael Carter. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 34-yard line.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here at their own 33. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
Working with a 2nd and 4. Now Prescott. That's taken in by Eskridge, complete. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
89 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Throwing. Prescott. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up fourth down. Nagar's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll drop to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back to throw again. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Oh, wow.
Washington with a football here to begin quarter number 2. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
2nd and 5. And he's got it. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on 3rd and goal. Back to throw here. Escaping the... And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Osa Odighizuwa drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. Two minutes gone by, second quarter. Now back to throw. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his second touchdown on the season. And Washington has made this a one-score game. And his kick is no good. Misses the PAT, a mistake there. And this remains a 7-point game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Takes it at the 7. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So here are the Cowboys to take over. They fell last week to the Jets, but they've got the lead right now as they start this drive. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 116 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott got his man complete over the middle. That's Schultz. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A completion, yes, but certainly not what they wanted. A loss of a full 6 yards. 2nd and 16. Prescott from the gun. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Here's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's what you're looking for.
It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll look to throw. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big play that time on the catch and run. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run in the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick, and shifty. Can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. Neville Gallimore, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. This is caught. Touchdown! Terry McLaurin, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up. This time, the extra point up and good. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. Takes it at the 7. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Prescott now. He'll spot Eskridge open left side. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Looking to throw, Prescott, and that is incomplete.
These two offenses have gone up and down the field so far in the first half. Finally, I say, here's a stop on 3rd down.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. This is fielded at the 27. The good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up some yardage here, maybe try and come up with a field goal to seize the lead before intermission. Slings this deep from McLaurin. He's got a man, complete. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll look to throw here. That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down. Second and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 12-yard line. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. And nearly picked. It's second down now. They'll look to throw again. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And Washington has taken the lead. And oh, it's no good. For the second time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Dak Prescott and the offense heading back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better.
And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Taking it about the 1. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
On second down now, it's Carter. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They'll go again with Carter. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head out of harm's way.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on third down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected fourth down here.
Now they go for it on fourth down, but that pass is knocked away and incomplete. Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They start on the ground with Elliott. Gets by him at the 25. 117 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. 3 yards remain for second down. Off the play fake, Prescott. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The 22 is the line to gain here on third down. Back to throw. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. T. Higgins His second touchdown on the season. And Washington going to add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Jamin Davis there to bring him down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Prescott. Over the middle, he finds Eskridge. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. The give is to Elliott. And Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now, they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade is going to happen, but good thought.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 43. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's Washington with the football and the lead as we start the 4th. On 1st down, it's Gibson. And some room to maneuver. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Here's Gibson. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Washington on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 11. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Kevin King with a pick. And the Cowboys are right back in this football game. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Prescott to throw it. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Now here's a throw. It's complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Chris Barnes. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. If they had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one, that hurts their chances right there.
I had to put it mildly. We look at the lead, look at the deficit, trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them to have a chance to win this one now.
It's a 1st down and more for Gibson. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. A huge play there for Washington. So that run there, yeah, I don't know if it's overstating things to call it a thing of beauty, but in terms of football plays, that's as good as you're going to see. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. They'll set up a throw. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. 2nd and 9 now. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. T. Higgins. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the interception by the Washington defense leads to a touchdown. No problem there on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Dak and the Cowboys ready for their next possession. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Montez Sweat. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To try again after the sack. Prescott. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Just keeping the play alive. That one complete to Elliott. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 24-yard line. Now back to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there. And it's 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense can crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Washington on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Touchdown! Terry McLaurin, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. The extra point up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. First down, Prescott. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. Another try after the first down sack. Prescott.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing.
Hey, baby, this ain't good enough for us.
Tack on 15 more for the face mask, and that becomes a huge play.
Big pass gets caught on you. You're doing everything possible to get him on the ground, and sometimes you end up grabbing the face mask.
Prescott on 1st down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Quick throw, and that's Eskridge on the slant. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the...
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. The guard out for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead back now to 21. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. That one looks like he'll throw here. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Back to throw again. And it's caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Gibson. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson. Excellent work there to get in on the touchdown run. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. The extra point up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. One last shot now for Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion.